All right. Welcome everybody, ladies and gentlemen, to the Law Ice Podcast Show. I'm thrilled to have everyone, and I got a special guest, Miss Crystal. She will be joining us in a few minutes. So enjoy the show. It's gonna be raw. It's gonna be very intriguing, and hey, just you'll see. All right. Hello, Miss Crystal. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So, welcome to the Law Ice Show. I'm
Oh,
glad to have you.
thanks for having me.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts on today's relationship and the way everything in the world is being set up to be like the the trauma and the hardship of being able to stay in a relationship, as you know what I'm saying, because everybody gets so blindsided with, man, like I'm in a good thing here, but then I got something over here that's pulling me back from having my good thing right here. So what are your thoughts on that?
I feel like today's relationships are totally different from back in the day when our grandmothers and grandpas and stuff like that were in relationships because I come from a family where like my great grandpa he worked. My great grandma she stayed in the house, but she made sure everything was done in the house. She made sure, he came home, he had cooked meals, everything in the house she took care of, and he went to work. She didn't even have a driver's license. But I feel like today it's a little different because the cost of a living is different. I feel like women are, you know, finding their, place in the job markets and things like that. So
Right.
totally different than what it was back then. But I grew up watching my great grandma cook, clean, take care of the kids, and things of
Right.
that nature. Hmm.
So do you feel like, okay, from your great grandmother until the present day, the women of today, how can I say this? What happened? Like, because somewhere between from great grandmother to the present day of the women, somewhere the transaction got lost.
Yes. So here, I'll put it like this. So watching my great grandmother, I always wanted the relationship she had with her husband.
Right.
Because it was like, even after he passed away, she never remarried. She just
Mm-hmm.
that was her husband and that's just what it was.
Right.
Um, but the love was so real back then,
Correct.
you know. But I think now in these times it's a little different because for one, the cost of a living is a lot higher than what it was back then. And honestly, I feel like back then it might have been easier for them to, take care of the household. Now I feel like a two income household is definitely better than a one. Even though maybe the man can take care of all the bills and stuff in the household,
Mm-hmm.
what about the extra stuff? What about the things that keep the marriage going? What about, you know, the memories that you guys build, things are like that. So I feel like women definitely working, they are able to make money to contribute to the household.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's th- I agree with you on that one. In today's society where a lot of women are now and they're graduating,
Mhm.
they're getting degrees and they able to have a good paying a job. But also during that process of getting a good paying job, and building your career, what about family?
Right.
It's
And we
like
can't lose sight
it's,
of that.
right. It's like once the woman get her degree, and then once she start processing through her career, it's like she don't got time for the man, and she put the man on the back burner, and she'll focus on her career more than she would on trying to build a stable family for home. And also, what kills me the most is a lot of women feel like man, if I go get this job, I build my career, um, I have it made. But they fail to realize like this job here can terminate you any moment.
Right. And that's true, but I feel like you gotta be able to balance the two. Like,
Right.
have to find some balance because your relationship or your marriage is very important and you definitely want to keep, the spark going, what started it, this, that, the other. So you can't lose sight of that.
Right.
So, I feel like it's a balancing act, but you have to do that if you want to be in a successful marriage, and that's just what it is. Um,
Okay.
I feel like so for instance, me in my position, um, my man is retired, so he doesn't have to
Mhm.
work, right? But I still work. But he can pay everything in his house, and I don't have to pay anything. But there's things that I like to do for him, and there's things that I want to do for us. So
Right.
I never lose sight of, we need to have that time where, we just enjoy each other, this, that, the other.
Right.
So that's what I'm working for. Like, you know, for us to have that extra time to enjoy it,
So so do you feel like with you and him, do you feel like it'll work out?
I'm hoping it does. And then not only just that, it's like sometimes we fall on hard times.
Huh? Right.
So when we fall on those hard times, I understand what you did and I understand all the work that you put in to take care of this household. But sometimes we fall on hard times. So it's like, people fail to realize even though you're the man of the house, you can still fall. You can still have those days where, you still have those bad days and this, that, the other. And that's why I'm here to pick you up.
Correct.
So that's why I feel like, I, you know, I feel like that's my role. Like, if there's a minute where he lacks, I can come in and pick that up. And
Okay.
that doesn't make him less of a man because we all fall on hard things. And we're a blended family.
Right.
So, he has kids, a child in college. I have my kids, this, that, the other. And you never, even with your kids, they, run across hard times. So it's like,
Yeah.
just to have that extra cushion to be able to take care of what needs to be taken care of, and it's not pulling out the household like that. That's why I see like it's important for me to continue to work,
Okay.
and.
Well, I hope it do work.
I do
There's
too.
no there's no there's no guarantee on anything.
Right, right.
So
And that's one of the things that I'm learning. Like, what I'm saying? I'm so used to taking care of things myself, but like I've learned that I gotta let him be the man.
yeah.
And
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. So with you and your job, your money, your finances and everything, and with his employment, I mean his money and finances and all that, do you have a problem with him being the captain of the ship?
no, I don't. Cause you know what? I felt like in my previous relationships, I was kind of the captain of the ship.
Right.
And with him, it's totally different. So it's like, finally, it's not me having to take care of everything or figure out this, that, the other. He's there, and I'm more like the support. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
I love that.
Man, I wish there was a way, you know what I'm saying, you can express to these a lot of these women of today. I mean, cause I'm telling you, it's getting bad out here these days.
Oh God, I know. And you know what? I'm so glad I don't have no daughter because and me raising boys, I always raised them like, you supposed to be the head of your household and this, that, the other. But
Right.
don't let nobody use you. They definitely need to bring something to the table. And that's just what it is. That's just how I look at everything. I
Well,
told
let me go ahead now. Go ahead.
I told my fiance, I said, look, I said, I know you got everything, whatever, but I'm definitely bringing something to the table. And it just balances. Like it just that's what balances.
Right.
Yeah.
So with your boys and everything, and they are going into they finna be 20 or 20 some years old, correct?
One is 21 and the other one is 19.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with the 21-year-old. So is he dating?
Yes.
You like her?
I'm not gonna say I don't like her. It's her mother. I feel like she's involved way too much.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing about that. My son is dating a woman that has like a disability, right?
Oh,
And I can
okay.
understand her mother protecting her, this, that, the other. But my son, he's been on his job for a long time now, and he's a supervisor where he works at. And but she has too much input. It's their ultimately
Right.
it's their relationship. He's not asking her for nothing, this, that, the other. Um, and I just feel like you gotta let them live. You gotta let them figure things out. And once you get
Mhm.
too involved, then it becomes y'all's relationship versus their relationship.
Right.
And so with him, I'm just like, he's still young. This is probably not going to be his last
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, because it's with him being 21 and he exploring his options on different women and everything. There's a lot of women out there, they are dealing with a one guy, but they also looking for a come up.
Yeah,
And that's what a lot of young boys are failing to realize, the wolf in the sheep clothing, because this one girl, she'll tell you anything she wants you to hear. She'll give you all the good sex she wants you to have. But man, somebody else she probably really in love with, and her true feelings are with that other guy, but you don't see it until it's too late.
right. And see, with him, I think she's really into him, but like I said, her mother's just too way involved. Like I
Oh,
don't get
okay.
involved in my kids' relationship. If they come to me and ask me questions, I'll say my opinion, but ultimately it's up to them to figure out, what it is that they're looking for. Um,
Right.
this, that, the other. So I try not to get too involved. Um, because she, if to be honest, it took me a few relationships to,
Yeah.
so I just gotta let them do what they do. They just gotta live and learn. You know what I'm saying? You learn trial and error. Trial
So
and
so what you think about becoming a married woman? What are
I
your thoughts on that?
do. Like I'm excited about that. Like, to be
Cause
honest,
this will be your first time, correct?
hell no. Oh my god, I'm cursing. No. And you know what I'm saying? The first marriage, we'll get into that another time.
Oh,
But
okay.
this is the first time where I've really had somebody that's just like had my back on anything and really showed me a, like a true man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So um in my mind, this is my first marriage, but on paper, it's not. It's my
Oh,
second.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So you're not nervous, but you feel like this would be the right thing to do, which
Yeah,
it
but you
is.
know what? I'm still working on me too because you know what? I've learned that I am a runner. So the first red flag, I'm like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's
Yeah.
perfect, but me, I am so like I took a year to just heal myself and like get myself together. And so I told myself, like, when I get in this next relationship, I ain't dealing with nothing. Like, it's either gonna be this is what it's gonna be, or it's not gonna be.
Right.
So but honestly, I still have to get out of my ways. You know what I'm saying? So like, I can't run every time something goes wrong.
Right.
That's what I'm learning to deal with.
Yeah, that's good. That's real
Yeah, and
good.
I
And
recognize I got issues, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, there was like a whole year where I took to just focus on myself and get myself together. And I was just like, ain't nobody disturbing my peace. That
yeah.
was nobody's disturbing my peace. And but I'm still set in my ways a little bit and I have to learn to like, get away from that.
So do you do you not have a problem with him doing this thing? Like, uh, hey, baby, I'm finna go out for a little bit with my homeboys. You know what I'm saying? Just go out and
No,
calling his phone and where you at? When you coming back home? Y-
no, I don't have a problem with him going out and doing his thing. Um, you know what I'm saying? Just act like you got some sense when you go out and do your thing. But
Yeah.
because
Okay.
we all need that time away. Like I need my time with my girls. He need his time with his boys because there's certain things that you can talk to your boys about that you can't really talk to me about. And there's certain things I can talk to my girls about that I really can't talk to you how I want to talk to you about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody needs that time. So um that's just, that's not an issue for me.
Okay.
Matter of fact, we was somewhere yesterday and I literally sat in the car for about 20 minutes.
By
He's
yourself?
boys, because I feel like when you're with your boys, you're talking to your boys. I don't need to be just like when I'm with my girls. I don't need you sitting under me when I'm talking to my girls. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I
Yeah.
felt yesterday. I was like, oh, I'm just in the car, and so I sat in the car, and he kept
Oh,
coming in
okay.
the car like, "You good? Like, come on, like, come out." And I was like, until my friends pulled up, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go inside. But
Well,
mm,
that's good. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going out doing your thing, hanging out and stuff. There's no problem. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
yeah, I feel
Um,
like, and then we do a lot of things together too. So like, we went to our first world title fight.
oh, you did?
Yeah, we went
Okay.
to see Earl Spence, and that was in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we do things to try to keep it live between us, and then we still do our separate things as well.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So, man, it just I feel like this summer, you're gonna see a lot of craziness this summer. I thought I seen it all, but man, it's like the men and the women are getting desperate. You know what I'm saying? And
It's crazy because the things I see now, I'm like, oh my god, was I like that when I was 20? Was I like that when I was
what's the
20?
worst thing? What's the worst thing you seen so far? So far that you be like you can't believe.
There's just things like women degrading themselves, and not just women, men too. Like they just doing the
Yeah.
most out here. And I'm just like, oh my god, was I like that when I was that age? So now I'm real cautious on how I move or whatever because the camera is everything. Somebody's always recording something.
Yeah.
And you kind of get older and you look back at things like that and you be like, oh, like
Um.
I
I
feel
f-
like people are more like I feel like people aren't together anymore because of love. They're together because of the hype or they're messing with each other to make a come up off of each other and this, that, the other. I feel like it's just totally different from what I was used to seeing as I was coming up.
right. So you made a good point right there where you said women are together for the come up and not for the love. And that is absolutely correct, especially this day and age, because it seemed like back then when we was growing up and being raised, it was all about love, but now it's all about money. And if a man, they feel like if a man making $50,000 a year, and that's the average man
Mhm.
making $50,000 a year, I don't want you. I don't. the woman feel like she don't want the man because he making too little, which I don't understand. Like, how did it get to that point, man? Like,
But you know what? I was raised a little different because my mom, she always told me a piece of job is better than no job.
exactly. And I feel
So
like
yeah,
people get glamorized on the media. The girls having what a Mercedes Benz, or you know what I'm saying? Riches is rental. Everything's been rental on the media. If they flash on the media, it's being rental. It's not theirs. You know. Uh, I couldn't believe I had what a month ago. A girl was talking about she want a Birkin bag. Do you know how much a Birkin bag costs?
right.
Like, man.
So like, you know what? I think, honestly, people go through that phase. And now what's more important to me at this age is like improving the house. So like all the money that you spend into this, that, the other, I'm not gonna say, hey, you couldn't have nice things. By all means, I feel like we work hard, so we deserve to treat ourselves. But for
Yeah,
now, as in me right now, in the stage that I'm in, I feel like I'm putting this into the house. So because honestly, you know, that runs out.
you're right.
And then when you get this age, you start looking at things like, dang, I spent all this money on this and this, that, the other. And now I really don't have anything to show for it.
Hmm.
Um, but as of right now in my life, it's more about building this house and, you know, I want to travel, make
That's what, and
memories, things of that nature.
right, and that's what it should be all about, basically, because um, it'll keep you happy. It'll keep him happy.
Right.
No worries, no stress.
Right. So, me currently, we're just trying to balance everything out. We're still learning each other. Um, learning to live with each other, learning each other's differences and things of that nature. So, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna say don't get we bump heads.
yeah, I know. Everybody, and that's
We
the thing
bump
about it.
heads,
A
but
lot of my I had a family member that was married for 70 years, and they, oh, it was some brutal bumping heads, but they had some little happiness, but they bumped some serious heads now, cuss each other out and everything.
right, because you know what was crazy is that the other day I went back and I looked at my great grandpa and my great grandma because I used to go spend the summers with them. And
Yeah.
I used to be with my great grandma when she was tilling peas and things of that nature.
Oh,
And I
okay.
go down there in the summer and shell peas and things like that. But I looked back at their lives and I was like, and I called my grandmother and I was like, when did Papa or when did Pop and Momo get married? And she's like, honestly, I think they got married when she was like 16. And my
Right, yeah.
grandpa was about like, oh my God, my grandpa was probably about what, 15 years older than her, but that was her one and only husband. They stayed
Hmm.
married. He died at 105. She died at like 87. And but that was the love of her life. You know what I mean? And
Right.
after so they had a decade together, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And you know, I think we just strayed away from that type of stuff. And I just think we need to get back to that. Uh,
Well, I
but
don't
yeah,
think
go ahead.
I would like for us to get back, but man, it's gonna be hard to get these young kids now shell some peas.
These kids they're on a whole nother level. You know what? When I was a kid back then, we fight. Now they shoot.
Yeah.
It's a totally different type of. It's totally different now.
Yeah. That's why I don't know if you've seen it now, but that's why like a lot of companies are saying that what is the Gen Z, whatever they call them,
Yeah.
they are hard to deal with because they like to quit on the job so much.
Right. So that's what we were. So we had this discussion at work one day. So like we talk about the people. What are they called? Our not our baby boomers, but our what is the ones before them? They get on a job, they stay on the job, and their goal is to retire. But now it's
Mhm.
different because the people now they're just going where the money's at. So like it's like, okay, you're paying me this, but somebody else is offering me this, so I'm going there.
Right.
And to be honest, I'm not totally against that, but you need to have something set in place like a 401k or something like that that you can roll over and this, that, the other. But it's totally different from back then.
They
My
done-
mom, she stayed on her job for 25 years.
yeah.
And
They feel like that 401k, that's that you gotta wait too long kind of money. They don't want that kind of money. They want that get rich right here.
get rich right. Guys, you know
Yeah.
what? But the internet did that.
Yeah.
The internet did that. So these kids now are getting on the internet making money just off what they're posting.
Yeah.
And we didn't have that back when we was coming out. What we had? Nextel phones, Motorola's, all that. You couldn't record nothing.
Hey.
Now it's internet. It's internet.
Hey, you remember? Hey, I call you back after 9 o'clock tonight.
Yeah,
had 3 minutes.
You gotta get off my minutes. Call me at the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Now
just
it's making it easier for them to make money, but ultimately, like the thing is that we're gonna eventually get to the point where there ain't gonna be no jobs because they are getting like robots and stuff like that and everything. And it's let's think about it. You go to Walmart and stuff now. What are you doing? Self-checkout.
Yeah.
So we was in Walmart the other day. We was in Walmart a couple weeks ago, and my fiance was like, "They better not stop me at the door because they should have did their job when I was at the register."
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I totally agree with that.
So but yeah, everything. And so even though we're getting more tech smart, it's definitely eliminating a lot of jobs out there.
And it's in a way it's sad, but I feel for the older generation, the generation that's 60 and older, because the artificial intelligence, man, they gonna be scratching their head because they gonna be trying to get help, and when they trying to get help, people gonna have attitude on trying to help them because they don't understand on the new technology that's being pushed out. And like I say, the older generation don't understand on like how to work this stuff.
Right.
Especially a person that's been living in the country all his life.
Right.
Is clueless.
Exactly.
And
Can
so
we take a second to pause for just 1 second? 1 second.
All right. But yeah, though, when she come back, like, just it's just hard. I mean, this day and age is really gonna be hard and tough for anybody. Like I say, especially this summer, man. I hope it'd be better for everyone. But I'll take a little quick 30-second break. I'll be right back. All right, y'all, welcome back. Take a little break. Bring it back. There we go. You back in action.
Yeah, we back.
Yeah, so this new, like I say, the technology and artificial intelligence is really like you say, gonna kill a lot of jobs, and I expect within the next by 2027, it's gonna be a whole different world.
Yeah, it definitely is. I don't know. We just got to prepare for it. If you're not in the
Yeah.
medical field, like the medical field or something like that, that are considered essential,
Mm-hmm.
you're probably gonna you know, be looking for a job.
Right.
Because you just gotta kind of look at, and that's one of the things I was telling my boys. I was like, "Yo, you need to look at things like that closed during this pandemic and see who's open, because those are essential employees." And so,
Right.
you know, whatever. And then you're gonna always need nurses. You can't really go to technology for that as far as patient care goes. Of
Yeah.
course, other things you can, yes, but like things like that, like nursing doctors and things like that, it's just some things that it gotta be us really doing. So I'll be telling them about things like that. And so, hopefully they make the right decision. I tried to raise them the best I can.
Yeah,
Could.
you're doing a good job. And now they are older now, so they off on their own,
Yeah.
and just got to all you can do to try to keep them on a straight narrow path. That's all you can do.
Right. And then, but and then that's the other thing, because I used to beat myself up like about things. I still beat myself up about things that they do.
Hmm.
But honestly, I had to look back to me when I was that age. Like, my mom, she was very strict. So
Right.
even with her being strict, I still did some of the things that I was just going to do, and I had to learn from those things that I did. So I try to just, you know, you
Hmm.
don't have to learn from trial and error. you know,
Yeah.
but I'm here to guide them. Like, I'm never going to be their friend. I'm going to be their mother. So, you're not going to get that, you know,
Yeah.
not your yes woman.
That's it. Nah, you right though. Um. So I know you said something earlier about how the men are, and how the men are being basically. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like the men that w- do you feel like the men that were raised by a single parent and they grow into society and they feel like they need their parent to hold their hand the whole way? Do you feel like that's being trifling, or
I feel like every child needs their mother and their father, because there's things that I can teach you and there's things that I can tell you, but you still need that male figure, because there's things I can
right?
tell you how to be a man. I can tell you what you need to do as far as me as a woman and what I expect, but every son, every child, every boy, they need their father.
Correct. Correct.
It's not even that. Every girl needs their father, so they know what
Hmm.
to look for in a man. So,
Right.
um, I just feel like the two-parent household is just, you get the mom and dad. Every child needs that, regardless whether you're
Yeah.
a man or regardless whether you're a boy or a girl. You need both.
Right. So with that being said, like, but why do they make it hard for society though? Like the man and excuse me, the mom make it hard for the society to raise the kids because they feel like the father is not around, which is a lie because most of the time the father is around, but the mom, she just don't want him to see her kid because what I was told was she don't want to stop that paycheck coming in. if the father comes around from the government. Is that true?
I don't know. 'Cause here's what it is. Like, let me talk about my situation.
All right.
So my oldest son, his father was in the Navy.
Okay.
And so he was always out to sea, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my son didn't get the relationship that he wanted with his older father because
Okay.
he was working, right? And by all
All right.
means, you got to work. That's just what it is. We have to work. But from a child's perspective, it's like you're not around, you know.
All right.
Um,
Right.
and it bothered him. And so
Was he stationed out of the country or?
he was stationed. So we're in Texas, right? He
Mm-hmm.
was stationed in California,
Okay.
Philadelphia, and Japan.
Oh, okay. So
So
yeah, this the one that was in Puerto Rico?
no, that's my second.
Oh, okay.
Um, so he was gone, and not only that, he deployed a lot. So he was out to sea a lot. But
Mm-hmm.
my son, to him, that doesn't matter. His thing was, I needed you as my father. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's kind of like the crossroads that we're at. And I tell my son, I encourage him to have a relationship with his father, even though he wasn't around a lot. It wasn't because he wasn't trying to be a dad, it was because his job. And so I
Right.
encourage it, but ultimately my son is grown now, so he has his own opinions on how he feels about things. Um,
Okay.
and and his father does have other children. And so he looks at things like that and he's like, I didn't get that relationship, you know.
Hmm.
But I try to tell my son, like, look, it was probably for the best that your father left and went to the Navy for his life. It was
Oh,
probably
okay.
the best thing that he could have done with his life. But I can't tell him how to feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I never, try to like, you know, you can't see him, this, that, the other. Anytime he was like, yo, send him down to see, stay with me, this, that, the other. I'd send him down when we could. And then
Mm-hmm.
as he got older, he got to the point where he didn't want to go, you know? And I always told him, I was like, your dad wasn't a bad dad. Maybe he wasn't the best dad for you because this is what you expected, but he wasn't, because financially he made sure that we were straight. Um, and not only that, he was like, if there's anything you need, you just let me know. But when you're in the military, that's just what it is. You gotta go where you gotta go,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And so situations like that, um, I can just keep encouraging my son to have that relationship with his father,
Okay.
and never talk bad about his father or nothing like that. He wasn't a bad dad. He just joined the military. So,
Oh.
he wasn't around the way you wanted him to be around. But I felt like if he would have stayed here, then he might not have been around because he was going down the wrong path. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I just encourage all women that, like, um if you have a supportive baby daddy, baby whatever, um encourage the relationship, because
Right.
even if you're hurt behind the relationship, it's your child that's hurting more, you know what I'm saying? So encourage that relationship regardless of how you feel. Don't talk about each other, this, that, the other in front of each other. um
Right. Right. Yeah, that's a big thing right there too.
yeah, so you know what I'm saying. And like I said, even now I'm still on my son, like, talk to your daddy. He wasn't
Yeah.
bad. There's some bad ones out here, and there's some bad mothers out here, but he wasn't a bad dad at all.
Yeah, because um I try to, you know what I'm saying, like on my end, I try to be the best parent I can be and try to, you know what I'm saying, raise my daughter the correct way and hopefully when they get older it all turns out and it works out for them and for me, because if I see them doing good when they get older, it let me know I did my part correctly.
Right. So what's the relationship now with you and your children's mother?
Yeah, we
Are
doing
y'all
good. Yeah, we back on good terms. Everything is good.
good?
No more chaos. It's a it's a happy family, you know. Like I said, we work things out. Got back on a straight narrow path, and got to raise these kids up the best way we can, because
Right.
and it's getting tougher in the future, and everything getting so expensive. So
Mm,
I mean, can you imagine living in New York for a 1 bedroom, 800 square feet for 2,800? I think it's 2,800 or three
oh, it's
thousand
high.
dollars, huh?
It's high.
Yeah, for 800 square foot.
Right.
What you gonna do in that little ass room? I can't.
Even Texas is going up because before I left here, I used to I had like a 3 bedroom, 2 bedroom house, and it was fairly new. And
Girl,
I was renting it, but I was paying like what, $750 for rent. And back then, I used to be like, $750 is a lot. And then I moved to Houston, where I was paying $1,300 for a 1 bedroom apartment.
mm,
And then before I left Houston, I was paying like 16 for a 3 bedroom, 3 bath townhouse. Now I'm back here in small Colleen, and everything is the same price as Houston, but they don't have no
yeah,
jobs here.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of women that are breaking up with their man because they feel like they can do more, or the man breaking up with the female because they feel like he can do more. But boy, once the bills start coming in,
Yeah.
uh, them bills be like, slow your roll down. What you gonna do? You gonna pay it, or you gonna stay on the streets? So what they do, they call up their spouse, baby, I'm sorry. Let me come on back.
And people don't be thinking about like the hard times, because like even though I'm here and we're okay over here, I like the last couple months I've ran into like a lot of hardships, like my car,
Yeah,
all kinds of stuff, like just unexpected expenses that's just popped up out of nowhere.
right.
So even then, and that's why I'm so big on a two-income family, because say my fiance was the only one working and stuff, and he can cover the bills or whatever, yeah. But
Right.
with the issues that come up, that can take a big dent in your wallet, and you might not, you know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you another thing. Don't if you paying the car, don't do pay it off next month. Want to see you'll be in the mechanic shop by July.
And car notes ain't what they used to be. Back in the day, you was paying like $300, $400 for a car note. Now you paying like seven, 800.
Yeah, yeah. The average price for a brand new car, the average price is $750, $800.
Yeah.
Then if I'm not mistaken, a Cadillac Escalade, if you put no money down on a Cadillac Escalade, shit, that's $1,900 a month.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. We have a Genesis, and um, it's a really good car or whatever. But like, maybe it's like $900. It wasn't
Yeah,
good for houses. Like, come on.
yeah,
So it's just the cost of a living is gone up. So I just believe that I mean, you can have a man that makes $100,000 a year, right? But
hmm
honestly, that still is, depending on your lifestyle, it's not enough. So that's
right.
just why
And
I just believe, like, I'm here where if you fall off, I'm here if you lack or whatever. So
right.
the way we have it set up in our household is I get the groceries, and I I pay like some little bills like internet.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
But for
that's
the most, our my money is our play money, so that's what we use for like if you want to go out and have a good time, because you got to keep the fire in your relationship.
Yeah, you're right about that. You absolutely right about that. And that's how I feel like that's how it's supposed to be. You know, the man cover the biggest bills, and the woman cover just a little. You know, groceries, like you said, groceries and probably a little phone bill here and there. But like I say, that for like the mortgage, the rent, whatever, and car note, hey, you know, that's on the man hand. But uh, you got so many. Uh, you you got the media nowadays. They feel like the woman should be the masculine. The woman should have the be the captain of the ship. That's why I don't know if you know that, but there is an agenda. Um, that's why they coming out with these movies called Woman King. I never watched it. I never watched it because I feel like if I watched it, I probably lose some type of pride in myself. If I watched that movie. Then I just seen now they coming out a new movie called the remake of The Color Purple. I never even watched the first one, so I definitely gonna watch this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I mean, I don't think it's out yet, but it's coming. I seen that. Yeah, it's
What you
crazy.
thought? You saw Woman King?
No, I didn't see that.
That's what
I
I'm
didn't see it.
saying.
Yeah, but I heard
It-
I seen it on. I seen a little bit about it on the internet, and yeah, no,
it's an agenda
you
to
gotta
make.
be the man, and you gotta be the woman, and that's just what it is, you know. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, uh, that's why I say I really hate for this generation boys that's graduating high school and they getting involved into society now and uh the women when I got out of school in '04, it's a totally different breed now. See, back then, you know what I'm saying? It didn't take too much to even date a woman back then, you know?
yeah, wait,
Cause what back then I was making what $5.15 an hour.
yeah, yeah. You graduated.
Man.
I graduated in '02.
Oh, this is a good thing, right? I'm glad I'm bringing this up now. So, how do you feel about OnlyFans now? Before you say something, remember now when OnlyFans first came up, it was brought in as a business type, you know, promote your business and everything, you
Mm-hmm.
know, as a good thing. But how did it how did it get watered down to man just
It's
like Devil's Playground now?
it's porn, light porn, or not even light porn. It's porn. I just can never bring myself to do that. I feel like, but then I have strong women behind me. My mom, she's strong. My grandma, she's strong. My great grandma, she's strong. So
Yeah.
we just believe in like work, 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 work. Um, so you just I couldn't.
So, all right, they just had all the schools just had graduation now. You know, they feel like and you got the girls, they going, you know, feel like they want to live the dream and go to college and everything. But man, they looking at like these girls on OnlyFans, they making this much money, and I gotta go to college and try to make that money they making. I might well just go and set up me a camera and just go ahead and pop it out. If they cause like the little white girl, I mean, and it's a shame because the little white girl, I can't think of her name, Cash Me Outside girl,
Yeah,
uh within I think what is 6 months she made over $50 million.
I feel like here's the thing about that. If that's what you're gonna do, and I ain't gotta agree with it, but if that's what you're gonna do, make sure you take that money and invest in something because it's gonna eventually stop. Um,
But it's putting the bad apple into their mind because they feel like, man, if I just pop this coochie out all day, I get paid.
it's
Why go to school and learn when I can make money just on camera for an hour or two?
that's what I'm saying. They gotta learn that that's gonna eventually run out. So when I was younger, I used to babysit for this lady, and I didn't know that I was babysitting for her to go to Houston and strip.
Really?
She was like, when I go to Houston and strip on the weekend, I literally make about $6,000-7,000 a weekend. She had a regular job, But just know that eventually you age, it's gonna run out. And your day is
Yeah.
gonna be is invest that if that's what you choose to do with yourself. Like I'm not here to judge nobody and what they do because all of us got different paths. But if that's what you choose to do, make sure you take that money and invest it in yourself. So that way, because it's gonna run out.
Yeah.
Make sure you whatever if you're trying to put yourself in school or whatever. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: when I was a college recruiter when I was in Houston,
Yeah.
and the first place I would go recruit was one of the places that I would go recruit at was the strip club.
Really?
You always hear stories like I'm stripping because I want to pay for college, right? So
Yeah.
I was working for a school where like their primary, like our money maker was our ESL program, which was English as a second language.
Mm-hmm.
I stumbled across this strip club where it was a lot of Hispanic women and they didn't speak English and this, that, the other. And I spoke to the guy that ran that strip club and I was like, look, I'm not trying to take your strippers, but I'm trying to educate your strippers. So like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They thought you were trying to be a pimp, huh?
so like he took my information and like literally gave it because he was just like, yeah, because they're gonna get old. You know what I'm saying? He gave
Yeah.
my information to them, and we were able to get a few of them into school. You know what I mean? Because you're not gonna be able to use your body for your whole life.
And you know what? And you're right because and that's what I'm saying. Like, and these women be having kids, man, and they be doing
That's
that stuff.
why, like, because you know why, especially in a day like today, there are cameras everywhere. So
Right.
everything I do, I know that there's a possibility that my child is going to see that. I can't do that.
Exactly. Yes.
So, you know what I'm saying? But everybody thinks different.
I tell you what. I tell you this. They lucky I'm not in school because man, I think they won't be able to come to school if I find out they mom out here busting it open on OnlyFans, and you got to come to school next day.
Cause
They lucky I'm not.
yeah, cause you know what, and then you know what I'm saying, and then they set your kid up to go to school, and they friends got your video on their phone, and
Man,
they're laughing at your mama, and now you want to fight because they talking about your mama, and
er- er- I could just hear it now, man. Hey, I'm gonna go home and see your mama. I heard she got it going on over there.
yeah, yeah, they do that.
I got a couple snack money I can give her. Yeah, something like that.
But I'm not gonna say there are things that I've done younger that I ain't too proud of, but
Yeah.
it ain't none of that on camera. No, like, but now, like I said, we're in a time where everything is recorded everywhere you go.
Right.
So I just, just gotta watch. If it came down to you and you couldn't feed your kids and you really just couldn't feed your kids and that's what you chose to do, by all means feed your kids. But like,
Right.
um, I can't. I can't. And like I
Yeah.
said,
So I mean,
but when I came up in a time where cameras weren't everywhere. So did I do some things that I ain't too proud of? Yeah. I think we all have.
yeah,
But
exactly.
now it's a little different.
hmm and you know what I'm saying. You just can't get away with anything nowadays.
Hell no.
That's even like if you having a fight nowadays. First thing they do, they not, you know what I'm saying, they pulling out their cell phone. Oh, I gotta record this, you know.
Look. I got in a little confrontation in New Orleans one time. I was out there. And my
Yeah.
kids were with me. And we were at this restaurant. It was called Cajuns. And before I knew it, I had just done lost it. And I looked up, everybody had their cameras out, like, you know what I'm saying? And my son's like, Mom, stop, calm down, Mom, stop. And I had to really think about it, like, you know, what I was doing. And so, like, And that was a learning experience for me because I was like, oh my God. I literally had like 7, 8, maybe 10 cameras in my face.
Oh yeah.
And so
Um
yeah,
yeah, because that's the crazy part about it, you know. Did they put on YouTube or Instagram anything?
and look, I haven't even looked to see. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's on Facebook or somewhere. But like in the moment, I felt like I was defending. Like I definitely wasn't in the wrong in that situation, but
Yeah.
I could have probably handled it a little better. But yeah, my kids
Yeah.
was there, and then I snapped back into it like, oh my God, I'm in Louisiana, and you know how y'all laws are. In my mind, I could hear my mom saying, "You don't want to go to jail in Louisiana because they're gonna let you sit it out." So yeah, that was crazy experience, but sure it
Well,
sounds good.
Crystal, I'm about to run out of time here, and it's been good talking to you.
Yes, I
And
definitely enjoyed
I
it.
appreciate you coming on
Thanks for
and
having
joining
me.
me. And you know how to reach me, you know how to contact me, and we must do this again. We got to.
So,
Take care, okay?
all right, you take care.
All right.
All right. Bye.
All right, everybody. This is Law Ice Podcast Show. Thank you for joining in. And once again, I will see you next time.